Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy almost Christmas here. I'm Dr. Johnny, and I'm going to continue with the trend from last week when I was giving you guys the 5 tips for 5 ways to lose 5 pounds in 5 weeks before the end of 2021 here. And we're going to continue through the nutrition edition of Fitness Fridays, is what I'll call it. The reason I wanted to do this is because in reality, as much as I love fitness, I love working out as much as anyone. The truth is, it's the 80-20 rule. When it comes to health and fitness, it's 80% of what you're actually putting into your body, what you feed yourself, and 20% of your lifestyle, how active, how much you run, how much you lift weights. So, this 80% of what your body's actually trying to, let's say, lose weight is the example. It's not as much about exercising and working out a lot, it's more about what you're putting into your body. And so, what is the typical American putting in their body? And this is a study that I found in the average American. We're at the end of the year, so I want you to think about what you've eaten this past year. But the average American eats roughly 29 pounds of French fries, 23 pounds of pizza, 24 pounds of ice cream, 53 gallons of soda. We put all that together. Think about it. That's 24 pounds of artificial sugar, 2.7 pounds of salt. I can go through the list here. And remember, this is an average, but think about that. That is so much calories and food and sugar and toxins and inflammatory markers that are causing, let's say, the injuries and problems that you're feeling because it's about what you're putting into your body. And I know this is just a average, but think about it. Think about your past year and how do you want 2022 to be? Do you want to be another statistic? Do you want to be another person that's going to be consuming these toxic foods and synthetic foods and artificial foods that are harming your innate intelligence that allows your body to live? So in reality, as we go to the next slide here, if I can pull this up here, the main thing that I want us to look at, one of the things is sugar. We know complex sugar, complex carbs, and simple carbs and simple sugars, the sweets, the donuts, the candy. And if you can look here, I'll make this a little bit bigger, but when you intake, let's say, simple carbs, the sugars, the sweets, the desserts, what happens is that blood glucose immediately needs to go through your digestive system. Your pancreas releases insulin to try and attach that sugar and uptake it. But then what happens is that gets stored in, let's say, fat. What also happens is your liver starts to store all those glucose molecules and big chains of glucose into glycogen. And then also your muscle stores it for, let's say, when you exercise. So fitness is still an important way to help burn off that sugar, but the big thing is what's going on in your body when you take all these carbs, these simple sugars. And something to think about, even with complex carbs, the statistic I have here is 2 slices of whole grain bread raises your blood sugar more than a Snickers bar. And if we look here at this chart, raising your blood sugar is what causes your body to then start to deposit it into fats and into glycogen and into things that you don't want to have as much. So even though there's good carbs and bad carbs, complex carbs, let's say you think in whole wheat is something that whole grain is something that I can substitute for. In reality, it's still going to raise your blood sugar just as much. So, what do you do then? What should you be eating? And this is something that I took out of a Daniel Fast plan, but this is really a good breakdown of how you can be contributing or changing your diet these next few weeks and get yourself ready for 2022, because the breakdown really is we look at low glycemic fruits. These are the antioxidants, the dark berries, the stone fruits, the kiwis, the pomegranates. Then you want to have a large chunk of your meal to be non-starchy vegetables. Vegetables is a huge area that helps with not only helps with weight loss, but promoting health. And this is the zucchini, spinach, mushrooms, cucumbers, cauliflowers, Brussels sprouts, artichokes, asparagus. That's a huge way that you can saute and make different meals. Then you want to go into, let's say, some whole grains, but the right whole grains. So there's quinoa, there's oats, there's red rice. You don't need to just get whole grain meals because that's also going to raise your blood sugar, like I talked about. And then also, you want lean protein, healthy protein. The only thing I would disagree here with is maybe the shrimp, because I want you eating more, let's say, grass-fed chicken, grass-fed bison beef or cow beef, a lot of fish, salmon. And when you break down your meal like this, you have so many different ideas of how to make meals this holiday season that are not only good, but they're also healthy. So, I'm going to continue this through the next few weeks here until the end of 2021, so I can give you guys different ideas and ways to cook and things to avoid, because we all know health is more about just exercise and fitness. It's about nutrition and what you put into your body. So I hope you guys are having a great week. Have some fun holiday plans for the family. And as always, just remember, stay fit.